Hello, welcome to Jenny's Food Network. Today I'm going to show you how to make Vietnamese spring rolls, okay? Now, you can use green leaf lettuce, okay, but I prefer not to use green leaf lettuce because green kale is so much healthier. But restaurants will normally use green leaf lettuce or iceberg lettuce. I don't like to use those because there's no nutrients in them much, but the green kale, I chopped it up real nicely, so it's easy to wrap, okay? Try to stay away from romaine lettuce because it's very stemmy. It's got a lot of stem to it, and it'll break the skin of the spring roll skin, okay? So you need something that won't break the skin. So here we have this is the one that I like to use, the flour one. And they do have, the regular one will just say spring roll wrapper, okay? But the ones that are extra thin, they'll tell you, it'll label extra thin. Those things rip like crazy, okay? You almost have to use 2 skins to wrap because they rip so easily. And you have to use like a spray bottle. But this, I just run it under water real quick and then let it sit for a minute as I put the stuffing on it before I wrap it, and it'll be ready to wrap already by then. So this is what I like. The double parrot one, the spring roll wrapper with the red flour, the green leaves, the green stem and leaves. There's different brands out there. I mean, you can try whatever you like. You know, this is what I like to do. So like I said, be creative. You know, if there's something that you like to use, then go ahead and use it, okay? The Vietnamese style, they use this rice paper. It breaks like glass, it's kind of flimsy. It's like a flimsy material, and see how it's very, very paper thin, and it's rice paper, okay? Gluten-free. There's no gluten in it, okay? So those who are gluten intolerant, this will work well for you. You could also use these skin to make like egg roll style where you can deep fry it. But for Vietnamese style, we usually use shrimp, or you can make it vegetarian without the shrimp. Okay, we're gonna get started. So I've already sliced my cucumber sticks already, and I just have some extra kale over here. And I have some shrimp here, my shrimp. And this is my homemade spring roll sauce. It has the egg roll sauce. It has the homemade egg roll sauce that I made, and it has some hoisin sauce as well. This is the Lee Kum Kee brand. This is one of my favorite hoisin sauce that I like to use. So I like to use some of this with the homemade egg roll sauce. And the nice trick to it, you could also add creamy peanut butter to it to give it like a nice like peanut butter flavor to it. And it's topped with crushed peanuts too, okay? So that's how when it comes about to this one. If it's kind of strong, you could always add more water in it or add more egg roll sauce in it. You decide how you like it, okay? I want you guys to be creative and don't be too dependent on measurements, you know, because my portions are always different, okay? There's lots of recipe online how to make spring roll sauce. There's also a ready-made spring roll sauces at the grocery store. But for me, I like to home make my own because I like a certain flavor. Okay, so you also need the vermicelli noodles. There's so many different brands at different Asian grocery stores that you can get these at. These are the vermicelli noodles, Oriental style instant noodles. You can use this as a noodle soup. You could use it as noodles in the spring roll wrap. So you could do a lot of stuff with this, okay? So this is the one I use. I use whatever's a good deal on what's on sale, and I buy them in bulk, you know. So the nice thing about this, it comes in 4 sections. So for this one, I'll boil, let's see, I'll go ahead and boil 2 sets, like two bunch of this, okay? Because whatever's left, I could always use it to add in the noodles. I could add the noodles in the soup that I made recently. You could still eat it with like stir fries, whatever you like. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna show down here. So it comes out real nicely, thank goodness for that. Okay, here's one slab of the dry noodles into the 3-quart saucepan. There's no water in there yet. I normally like to, don't overcook it because you overboil it, it's gonna turn into mush. So here's the second slab, number 2. I'm gonna put in here. All right, when I add water, I'm just gonna fill it just above it, and I'm gonna boil it in high. And right when it starts to boil more, I'm gonna turn it off and drain it right away, because these are the thin ones, okay? They do have the regular size, but these are the thin noodles. I like the thin ones for spring rolls because they're easier to eat and they're not as tough. So here we go. I'm just going to add water. Okay, now I'm going to turn it off because as it cooks more, it's going to start deflating and start sinking down to the bottom. Okay, so you don't need like too much water. So just enough to cover the top. And I'm going to turn the setting on high. I'm going to put a cover on it, okay? All right, now that's sitting on the side for now. I'm going to monitor it, and once it starts boiling, I'm going to turn it off and start draining it out into a strainer, okay? Through a strainer. And then you're going to have to trim it because it will be very long and leggy strings. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, I'm going to show you the plates that I like to use. Hold on a minute. I like to use these plastic plates because they wrap more easily and they don't cling. They're more like matted plates. These are my older plates, you know. So these work best, okay? Here's a ceramic plate. It's kind of got a nice gloss shininess to it. The more glossy, the more shiny the material that you're using to wrap the spring rolls on, the more it's going to cling on. It's going to stick, okay? So this doesn't wrap well. But these matted, more the old plastic plates, these work the best. And if you have glass plates like this, they are the worst to wrap spring rolls because you'll see when you rinse or wash the spring roll skin under the water, and when it starts soaking after close to like 30 seconds to 45 seconds, because it's going to start clinging on here like saran wrap. It's very hard. It's going to rip the skin. It's going to be really pain in the butt. You'll see. So stay away from glass plates, okay, or very glossy material plates to wrap. Believe me, that's really good word of advice. So these plastic old plates work best. Not too glossy, and it's more matted. Okay, so after the noodles are ready, we're going to get started unwrapping. Stay tuned.